So us farmers, we're asset rich, not cash rich. So, you might be driving a piece of machine like this sort of size, but our farms are worth £3 or £6 million. And we won't be able to pay off a machine of this size. We won't even be able to pay off the farms. If if you have a big farm where you do a big bit of development on it, sort of thing, to make it easier for you and easier for the company, you'll never pay that money off because you won't make a lot of money. Most farms are just about breaking even, and farming isn't a job; it's a way of life.
You don't know how to use. That's the one. Right.
I know something new about it.
That's on.
Which is suspension.
Best one's on the right.
Yeah, that's it. Right.
Tell what's happening? I've recorded.
So this is my tractor. It's a Class 660. It's got about 200 odd horsepower. It's a fair old bit of kit, to be honest with you. This is what we use for the fields. Cultivating, so getting the soil ready to be drilled. Drilling is the term of when you sort of plant the crop, sort of thing. So we use machines of this sort of size. Have a look at one of the tyres on there, right? You're looking at £200 a tyre. Oh, thank you.
Keep that close.
That's fine. Yeah, so you're looking at, for one of these front tyres, maybe the front ones and the back ones, you're looking at about £2 each for them. And they can go upwards a hell of a lot more than that, depending on what brand and what size you use, really. So it's got about, like I said, about 200 horsepower. And I'll take you for a tour of the inside if you like. Yeah? Right, you sort of climb up on the steps then. Yeah, go on, keep climbing up. Keep going.
Go on,
Keep going. That's him.
There we go, perfect. That's perfect. Go on.
Right, so in here, obviously you've got, this is our control sort of bit. Does all your back arms sort of thing, lifts up all the implements on the back. So obviously your cultivators, your plough, all that sort of stuff. You've got our screen over here that works on our GPS. So it keeps our line straight and make sure we don't double roll things, because that'd be a waste of fuel, really, a waste of time. You've got all of our PTOs here, which is a power takeoff, provides power to the implements on the back of the machine. So if you've got something like a mower, obviously that needs power. And these are what your power settings would be. What else have we got in here? This little joystick is for your front loader, which is what these little silver arms here are at the front for. You can put a sort of lifting arm on the front, and you can lift things up like pallets and all sorts of things. That's the main sort of things, really. These spools here, they're called spools, hydraulic valves. They will tip up trailers if you need those tipped up, grain trailers, for example, during harvest. Yeah, that's about quite a bit of an inside tour, really. So I'm from Kent, sort of thing. We have a dairy farm, 350 milking cows. There's quite a lot, really, quite a lot. This will be a big issue, because if I want to get into farming, I want to follow the parents' farm, and if I can't do what my mother and father did, it'd be a shame, really. It's gone through generations of farming, generations of family, and obviously it'd be a shame for it to all go down the drain.
How long has it been in your family?
5 years, or 5 generations, sorry. Yeah.
How long do you reckon that is? Have you ever thought about it and asked your family?
I'm looking at over 150 years, really. Yeah. So, big changes have happened on the farm since then. With obviously new technology, we weren't using machines like this. We didn't have GPS. We didn't have all this sort of stuff in here. When my parents' parents of parents were sort of around, so it's nice to see the way it's changed, and I don't want it to end, because if it does, then you won't be able to see. You see where it's come from, where it's going. It's a big future ahead, and if you stop it like this, then it'll cause some big issues, really. No, I think this is, it's a terrible thing that could happen and will ruin a lot of people's lives. I know a big thing is just put it into a trust, but what if, let's say I'm quite fortunate, I can put it into a trust, but if my parents were, if I was sort of an older person, let's say 50, 60, and my parents were 80, 90, and they've got chronic health issues, what happens if they're going to pass away soon? What do you do then? Because after 7 years, you're okay after 7 years, but if you're not, then obviously, like I said, if they're old or something, and they pass away, then you're sort of buggered, really. That's 5 generations down the drain, and if you can't afford it, you can't afford it, right? You look at a piece of machinery like this, or you look at a piece of machinery like that, and we don't drive the machine, we're not owned. That's over £300,000 and £400,000. This is over £200,000. They're not ours to our names, sort of thing. They're rented, they're leased, because the amount of hours and work we put underneath them is a hell of a lot, really. And any machine you wouldn't be able to keep for that long with that amount of power. So yeah, we don't own these machines. Obviously, they're rented on a 3-year lease, and then after that, you get a new one. So us farmers, we're asset rich, not cash rich. So you might be driving a piece of machine like this sort of size, but our farms are worth £3 or £6 million. And we won't be able to pay off a machine of this size. We won't even be able to pay off the farms if you You know, if you have a big farm where you do a big bit of development on it, sort of thing, to make it easier for you and easier for the company, you'll never pay that money off because you won't make a lot of money. You know, most farms are just about breaking even, and farming isn't a job; it's a way of life, which is what a lot of it's really important, really, because a lot of people don't think that, but it is a way of life. You know, we don't do this because we want to work outside in the rain. We do it because our family have done it, our generations have done it. You know, it's a big part of us, really.
You've done it for generations. So it's not just in the blood, but that's all you guys know, which also means you're very good at it.
Exactly.
Arable land.
Exactly.
It's the animals, the arable land. It's been bred. It's been cultivated.
Exactly. Because the whole point is that obviously, you know, because it's been gone through so many generations, each generation's given on a new tip to what could happen or what could be better for us. And here it is today, you know, farming down in Kent, 350 milking cows. You know, it's okay. And also the other issue we're battling is the price of milk. Milk's price has gone down again. You know, you're thinking 6p decrease isn't a lot of money, but we're doing about 1 million litres, which is quite a lot. And obviously, if you can't, you know, 6p, that's a lot of money, really, you're losing per litre, you know, may I add. So each cow on average for one milking, so one time milking, you're looking at between 6 and 7 litres at a time. And they'll be milked twice a day. And what you won't also see behind the scenes is that we're up at 3 o'clock in the morning milking cows. But yeah, so that's it really. But yeah.
17 years old.
Yeah, so 17 years old, I've got a lot of friends, obviously, you know, they're farming as well, and their generations, they're just like me really, farming through generations. And yeah, you know, it's long hours in these sort of cabs, you can't talk to anyone. You know, sometimes you do feel a bit down, but obviously you sort of have to get on with it really. A job's got to be done. You know, it's relentless, it really is. But yeah, no, thank you very much.